Hello everyone. I'll make some videos on the importance of calculating in chess, and hopefully this will be a good exercise for you all. So I think quite often the question asked is uh, I'm able to analyze one line, but what if it branches out into multiple lines? How do I keep track of it, and so on and so forth. So uh, hopefully, I mean, these videos will kind of answer some of those questions because uh, we'll pick up some. I'll try to pick out some, standard, very famous GM games, which shows a lot of themes and lot of hidden strategies, which really gets exposed. So this is one of the game that I'd like to take for, the example that I want to show. So this was the game that was played. I don't have the exact source of the game, but it was played way back in 1982 between Brown and Ripley. Um, have a look at this position. So it's basically the material balances. Fine. Fine. Black is in fact a pawn ahead. Um, and it's fairly equal, but look at this pawn structure, and black's king. I mean, it kind of looks very similar to white king also getting exposed through this diagonal, but look at how it's white to move, and how he kind of forcefully goes through the defenses of black. Okay, what is White's best move? I mean, if you'd like, you can pause this video and go over it. But White starts with knight takes g6. So this is the basically he's trying to he's basically destroying the pawn structure. So what is it? I mean, obviously White has done the calculation. I mean, the calculation of the forthcoming moves ahead, and that's when he arrived at this. So what is White threatening? In fact, White is actually threatening a very key square on e6, which basically results in a mate. I mean, queen e6, rook f7, and queen takes f7 is checkmate. I mean, I won't go into you know the forceful moves as it approaches mate, but the idea is White throws up a very strong attack, and as soon as White is a material up, I'm going to stop showing the remaining moves. So what are Black's most obvious choices? So first he can capture the knight with the h pawn. Okay, let's that's one possible option. The second is he can capture this rook on f1, and try to you know just see what White does uh, afterwards, because after rook takes rook, he has more to follow. And um, and and Black can also move this rook to e8, attacking the queen, ignoring the knight, showing this devastating attack. So let's go over one by one. So what if the h pawn captures the knight? Then you have this brilliant forceful combination with queen to e6 check. What else but king to h8, and you see that the h file is exposed. I mean, that is what the knight did when he sacrificed his when White sacrificed his knight. So now you have queen h3 check, and after king g8, bishop takes g6. You have this mate threatened on the f7 square because the rook is guarding the f file. So if Black can slightly prolongate the game by, let's say, for example, rook f6, after queen h7, king f8, you have bishop takes d4. Couple of moves, let's say rook f1, king e7, and after queen g6, there is a mate in 4 that follows, which is fairly easy to do it. So this is the this is the line, or this is the variation, but when if the black if Black captures the knight on g6. So what if rook takes f1, if Black does not want to take the knight? uh, Rook takes f1, And now, what does black has to worry about? Black really has to worry about this key e6 square, because there is a mate with queen e6. I mean, queen e6 is basically a simple mate because I mean, you have the h8 square guarded and by the knight, and f square guarded by the rook. So black has to somehow, uh, kind of blockade, or at least protect this e6 square, and that's basically the key to it. So let's say if queen e8, which is of course guarding the e6 square, so you have this brilliant forceful again combination with knight e7 check. Let's say king h8, and another forceful way of destroying black's defenses with bishop takes h7. Okay, what if king takes h7, and you have this mate which queen d3, king h8, and queen h3 is checkmate. Okay, after bishop h7, let's say black plays knight c6, basically pinning the knight because the queen is unprotected. So so you have bishop g6. I think bishop g6 is really the move that decides the game in white's favor, because let's say if queen e7, you have queen h5 check, bishop h6. I mean, this basically it basically is a goner for black. So I think this is completely winning. I mean, if the knight is if the knight is removed, you have mate on h8, or if anything, I mean, if you want to protect the knight with rook e8, white will continue to take on the e5 square, because this is deflecting the queen from the key h7 square with mate to follow on h7. So I hope this line with rook f1 is clear. So black actually played rook e8 in the actual game, and and basically the rest of the moves are quite easy to quite easy to follow, because you have queen h5. This is doing a couple of things. I mean, one, it's straight away, it's kind of threatening all kinds of attack on the black king side. And okay, now obviously the calculation is that if black wants to move the bishop to e4, or black wants to attack the queen with rook c5. So let's say what happens if rook c5. Again, it's another forceful combination where white has a check with knight to e7 check. And and do you see it? I mean, there are basically three possible mating options, and the simplest of all could be queen takes e7 and queen takes h7 is checkmate. I mean, if king moves, queen h7 mate, or if rook captures, queen h7 is mate. So rook c5 loses straight away. So what if bishop e4? Then bishop takes bishop, rook takes bishop, and you have this very important and excellent move which white made, which is queen f5, threatening mate on f7, attacking the rook. It's basically deciding it. So black has to defend his rook, and another forceful way of doing it. So white moves to queen d5 and gives a check. So what else but rook e6? Okay, let's see what if queen to e6. I mean, queen to a6 loses again to a very simple fork with knight e7 check. Let's say king h8 and knight c8. It decides the game in white's favor. So what if rook e6? I mean, so knight f4, and you're putting more pressure on the rook. And after rook c6, rook d1. So white will be completely a rook up, which will decide the game in white's favor. So I'll try and make more videos around the calculation and the theme of calculation. But I do hope this you found this game quite useful. Comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.